where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I have a guest with us today, Brooke.
Hello.
Sorry. We're going to be touching on several different topics today, but we're going to try to keep the majority of it focused around Charlie Kirk because there has actually been, it's just been trending. It's been a trending topic. Other than the Iran conflict, Charlie Kirk is a trending topic right now. I think largely because Candace Owens is back. Candace Owens is back to keep us on track here.
I feel like this has always been a huge topic for me since he died, so it's always on my mind. I watch Candace because of it, because I don't feel like it makes sense. And she's the only one speaking about it. So that's why.
Well, the messed up thing is there's multiple different topics that we cannot forget and cannot let die from the consciousness. Like Gaza has to remain, prevalent.
It's a genocide. Remember that.
The Epstein files. Sorry. People are starting to let that kind of go to the back of the memory bank. And
I don't know why, because I feel like Erika's involved in that.
Yeah, I mean, I have issues with it every day where I'm like, it's funny because they're trying to crash out on us for anti-Semitism and these ridiculous things like that, like they have forever with racism. And it's one thing or another that they try to keep us distracted with. And at the same time, they're responsible for harming children. Yep. They're responsible for a literal mass extinction in Gaza.
Yep.
I mean, and they want to lecture us on idiotic topics like racism. It's
what they try to do is keep us divided. Like if you're Republican, you're supposed to automatically pick the side of America's greatest ally, no matter what it is. But if you're on the Democrat side, free Palestine, right? And that's kind of how you see what side they're on. But guess what? What's going on in Gaza is a genocide. And any side of the aisle that you're on, you should see that. They're killing women, children. People are lost. They don't even know what happened to their children. They're under rubble, buried. Awful.
Yeah, and they're being, it's messed up. They're being pushed into piles with heavy equipment that we sent to.
Well, Trump wants
our greatest ally,
front property.
Yeah. But anyway, to get back onto the Charlie Kirk topic, Brooke has done some research.
I'm just going on the inconsistencies. Okay, so we've all heard the narrative that it was a lone gunman. He was shot with a .30-06, and that's it, cut and dry. We know who it is. We know who killed him. But if you know that a .30-06 is what it is, it's a beast. It's going through, correct?
There is no debating that. For anybody who has any, like even a remote experience with guns, .30-06 is going straight through.
So even at 143 yards, it's going straight through?
.30-06, if somebody is shot in the neck, it's barely going to, all it's going to do is distort the path.
Okay.
It's literally, and if it did hit bone, which judging by where the wound was that we all seen, it probably would have missed bone completely and would have only hit meat. But even if it did hit bone, all that's going to do is slightly distort the shape of the bullet and cause a much larger exit wound on the backside.
Okay.
Because when the bullet hits bone, it distorts and it kind of mushrooms.
Even from 143 yards away?
Absolutely. The distance barely makes any impact on
A human neck.
because a gun like that in that distance loses almost zero velocity.
Okay.
So it's coming out of the gun at like, let's just, and these numbers are not going to be like something that you can go look in that's going to be exact. But if it's coming out at like 10,000 feet per second, after 125 yards, it's coming out at like 9,995 feet per second. It's lost almost zero velocity at that point.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with this because I agree with you. It's a beast of a weapon. It's going through a neck, especially a human, right? So the ATF says that the bullet doesn't match the gun. And they say, why? They don't say why. They just say that it's consistent with the 30-06. But it doesn't match the gun that they are saying that Robinson had. So if we look at the 4K footage from the stage, Charlie Kirk is wearing a white t-shirt. There's no exit wound, no blood splatter behind him, nothing. The media actually tried to claim that he had a Superman neck with bones so thick that they stopped a high-powered round. The surgeon actually said he never said it, while Erika and Andrew Colvett said it came from him directly. But let's see.
Yeah, he directly disputed that claim by Erika Kirk.
Yes, he did.
Which, thank you to the surgeon, but there's also some evidence that surgeon may be a part of it too. I mean, I seen that he was former military.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, I don't have any of that in front of me, but nonetheless, like everybody surrounding this incident, this assassination, everybody has military background. Everybody, including Erika Kirk.
Yeah.
Whose entire family is completely embedded with the military.
I know.
Defense contracts.
Yes.
I mean, you name it.
Oh, I know.
You know, she was featured in a CIA film.
Yes.
Where she's sitting there holding a rifle.
Yeah.
Then recently, I'm sorry, but recently she comes out dressed like a sniper. I mean, it's just insane.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you look, there is no blood. There's just no blood. There's nothing here. That right there removes the possibility of a 30-06.
Yes.
There is no possible way a 30-06, I don't care what kind of round it is.
Yes.
I don't care what they're claiming. I've heard like frangible rounds, this and that. There's no way. Not unless it was like it shot like a gummy worm at him or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not possible. Even that, there's just no way.
No, there's not. And that's inconsistent.
30-06 is out the window.
So then you have the ATF filing that says the bullet fragments found at the scene didn't match Robinson's rifle, right? So if the bullet didn't come from that rifle, where did it come from at all? Where did it come from? We don't know. And we don't even know we're being told the truth at all.
I mean, I'd like to, because all this talk about ATF and FBI and bullet fragment, what about chain of custody?
Oh, I know.
They don't present any chain of custody with this supposed bullet fragment.
They're not providing anything. If anything, they're withholding evidence from the defense and making people around the United States say, oh, well, they don't need that for this hearing. Okay, well, a man's life is on the line, and you are so quick to say he's guilty without any evidence at all, except for a widow. It's weird.
Yeah, in my opinion, they're using the same bullet fragment that was used on JFK.
I know.
You know?
I know.
Because here's the thing. It could really be anything.
Yeah.
It could not even be a bullet fragment. It could just be a piece of metal.
Yep.
You know, but then you have to actually put some credibility into the ATF or the FBI.
Yeah.
I don't believe that
I'm actually quite surprised that they said it didn't match.
Yeah, I mean, it looks on its face like they're not even trying to.
Or maybe
present-
everybody's watching.
I don't know. On its face, it looks like they're not even trying to present a believable case.
And I don't know if it's going to even matter because people are so quick to blindly follow. Like the inconsistencies are there. When you are constantly lying, there's a fucking problem.
One thing I do know about the United States government is they're very powerful and they love to carry out and conduct simulation type things, right? Like with the COVID vaccine, for instance, and with masks, that was a probe to see the
Extent of control.
the extent of control they had on the people. And I mean, they've gotten away with so much, you know.
Of course.
Not taking away anything from the tragedy of Charlie Kirk, but in comparison to 9/11,
Well, of course.
it's really, we're talking about thousands of people. Yes, Charlie Kirk was iconic to many, and he was a symbol of freedom. But 9/11, everybody knows now. You know, I was just talking to a coworker today, and I was explaining to him that because obviously in my personal settings, in personal social settings, I tell people straight out, like, the killed Charlie Kirk.
Well, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Allegedly.
And the evidence that Candace Owens has presented it up to this point literally pins this on the
And the people closest to him,
without a shadow of a doubt.
in my opinion.
It could literally pass the judgment of a court.
Probable cause. Yep.
No, I mean, there is no, beyond a shadow of a doubt. That is where I'm at by having viewed every ounce of evidence that Candace Owens has presented. And that is where she's at as well. And I believe that is where 90% of people that have followed her through this investigation are at as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have people like Tucker Carlson starting to enter that arena.
Yeah.
Starting to
Question.
at least touch on the topic of Charlie Kirk with almost every guest he has on.
Well, yeah, he's doing his own research and figuring out that there's so many inconsistencies. There's so many lies, and it just doesn't make sense.
By the way, yeah, so I mean, take a look here. 56.8 million views per episode. Yeah, he's got a real potential to win the presidential election, in my opinion. I know one thing, I would 100% vote for him.
Well, America first, anti-war. Perfect.
Yep.
I mean, last month he did say that he wasn't running, but things change.
He also said that if Ted Cruz ran, he might run just to run against Ted Cruz.
You know, there's only certain people that I just really don't like, and Ted Cruz is one of them. He is vile and fat and a loser.
I mean, we also have to remember that everything is a rich man's trick. That is actually a plug for a documentary I recommend to everybody to go watch.
Yeah.
And it basically, it shows how everything is a psyop.
Of course.
Everything. And I'm not above believing, because here's the thing. I got duped by Trump hard, okay? And I guess a lot of other people did too. And
Of
you
course.
can look at that how you want, but there is no doubt in my mind that everybody could be a psyop
Of
as
course.
well. I love Candace. I love Tucker. I'm grateful to them for what they're doing. But all of this is for nothing if we don't rein our out of control government back in. And
Well,
these
of
people,
course.
for all we know, could be a part of it. It's like, it doesn't seem like it, right? But the thing is, look at what Trump did. Trump opened our eyes to the corruption in the government and then stabbed us all in the back, like immediately in this term. He was doing it in the first term too, but it just went, I guess, excused because we all had too high of hopes.
Well, I think what he is trying to do essentially is fulfill prophecies from the Bible. And it's a weird thing, I know. But I really do think that's what he's trying to do. Is that odd?
I don't know. I mean, his behavior after the Charlie Kirk assassination was awful.
Oh, I know.
That kind of wrecked everything for me with Trump because I was like, I was actually like interested whenever the news went, when I seen the headline, okay, Trump's being asked about Charlie Kirk. I wanted to hear what he had to say. And then when he said what he said, which was basically, they asked him, how are you doing with everything that's gone on today in Charlie Kirk, you know? Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Have you guys seen my new ballroom?
Yeah.
Like, little did we know the, you know, the massive everything he's putting into this ballroom, right? Like, he stages this incident at the ballroom the other day in order to try and get this ballroom. And is it him? I don't know.
He didn't seem very scared.
Well, what was it that Candace, I don't know if it was Candace or someone else, but they were saying that they're talking about Trump as if it's not Trump that, oh no, it was Baron Coleman, that he pointed out that this is a spiritual war that we're in, and that it is so dark when you really weigh everything that's going on. It doesn't seem like it's human in nature, meaning it is more likely like demonic, some sort of like entity
can't stand that.
pulling the strings. You know, if you're gonna disregard it, then and it's reality.
I just feel like they use those words in a way of not to describe it in its entirety. Okay, like you can use those words like demonic and all this shit, but why? Let's talk about.
What's a better word for a demonic entity controlling our government? What's a better word?
Well, why? Why are they controlling? How are they demonic? What are they doing that's demonic? If it's what I think it is, it's fulfilling prophecy. They're trying to bring about, if we are going that route, the end of the world, the end of times, and where everybody goes, right?
It's a religious battle.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a cop-out. People use it as a cop-out to not describe and really, like, say what it really is. Like they do to Candace. She's evil. Why?
Well, yeah, I think that our vocabulary has lowered since we've been so overridden with tech, and that's basically what we do now is
just use the same words.
I guess, you know, you seem to that's why these influencers are so popular, because they have a solid vocabulary.
Yes.
Like Candace Owens, when you listen to her talk,
sometimes she says words wrong.
oh, she is so smooth and consistent across the whole show.
Yep.
And it's an hour show, you know, and she does 1 hour each day. But she's also very good at reading,
yes,
which is something that has gone away in society.
Yes.
People don't read. They read text messages. They read.
That's how she stays on topic.
Sentences. But she has actually a book club,
yes,
and she reads.
Well, of course.
Yeah, she can
yes,
read so smooth. You try to do it.
I know.
You go and try to read a full big long tweet of Trump's or something.
Yeah.
Smoothly, or maybe a report coming out about Iran with some of these odd words that are used in the Iranian language and stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's no way.
Good luck. You know what I mean? And when people are able to rattle that off, like
yes,
Jackson Hinkle, see, even these people's names just draw a blank because we're just being so bombarded every day with a multitude of different distractions
Of
that
course.
it becomes almost impossible to keep your mind on track.
Oh yeah, and stay on topic.
Yeah, which we've gotten way off topic from the Charlie Kirk.
Yes. So let's go back. There's a 60-minute gap, right? Okay. So this is where it gets really weird. Erika Kirk's private jet landed in Provo at 4:36 p.m. That's documented as a fact from the FAA. But if we listen to the police radio, they reported picking up the victim's wife at 3:30 p.m. That's over an hour before her plane even touched the ground. How do we explain that? Unless she was already there. And instead of rushing to the hospital, reports say she waited at the tarmac for another jet to land. If your husband was just shot, or wife was just shot, are you waiting an hour for a business associate's plane? Are you? No, you're moving. It's weird behavior. I would be getting to the hospital so fast, regardless. I mean,
everybody does have their own way about handling things like this.
So waiting an hour?
Well, and also something to add into this is that he was not declared deceased at that point. Because, right? I mean, to my knowledge, she got to the hospital. He still had a pulse, I thought.
That's odd because, I mean, Terrell, is that his name? Terrell? He said he did. Within 2 minutes.
Well, no, but I'm going back to what I remember from that day. And
that he still had a pulse.
And what I remembered from her. Didn't she state that he was still alive?
But you get shot in your jugular. How fast does that go out? In warm weather.
Yeah, I mean, when you bleed as much as he did,
got hit in the jugular. So
unless you receive immediate
and they didn't
blood transfusions and life-saving
and stopping
aid.
It. And we saw how he was being carried to the van. There was nothing on him.
Yeah, they were just
and he was not bleeding any longer. So you tell me.
Right. Well, the other thing is when you watch that footage from behind, you can't even see any blood. You see like a dot, which is...
I don't even like to...
It's hard to explain because...
It's like a dot.
Yeah, but where's the flow, like the river of blood we all seen?
I did see that, but it
doesn't matter. In the actual footage...
It looks like there's a blacked out screen right there on the side. If you watch the video from the back, there is a line like this that's blacked out. What's supposed to be there? Is it the blood that's coming out?
Well, where did this footage... Here's a good question, okay? Because the footage that everybody's seen on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, right? Mm-hmm. That footage was directly from the front.
Yes.
Was it not? So where did that footage come from? Was that footage a cell phone? Was that footage a TPUSA camera?
I mean, I think that it was...
That basically blasted it all over the internet.
It was cameras. It was... camera phones, and it was everything. You could see people ducking, and
yeah, there was actually really there's no chain of custody on the footage that spread to everybody.
I mean, but it was immediate. It was live. People were live streaming.
I question highly. For one thing, we know that the majority of the crowd were not students at the school. They were people that were brought in.
He's a celebrity.
There were older people.
I know that.
Most of the people at that event were not, like percentage-wise, more than half of them were not students from the school.
Okay, but let me put it this way, because I find that not troubling at all. Because let's say Charlie Kirk came here to ASU. You don't think that he's going to have...
an event that was thrown together in a couple weeks.
Of course. He's a celebrity. It's like Myron Gaines.
That they didn't really promote.
The comeback tour was promoted. It was a big deal. He hadn't toured. That was his comeback tour.
And a lot of them had connections to elites.
See, that's where it's a problem. But prior, like if you don't know that, just having people that didn't go to that school wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and their footage ended up on TMZ within an hour
Okay, well, see, celebrity shit.
or within minutes, actually.
Terrell.
There were some pretty well connected.
Well, I know, and they the news like to interview the little community of elites, right? Correct? That was connected with the government, correct?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, obviously you're not going to, in my case, you're not going to memorize all this stuff, but there's so many shady details about the crowd itself and just the way that the footage was spread so rapidly.
Of course.
Right? Within just minutes
Of
of
course.
it happening.
But I could understand that this was a huge profile death. I didn't hear about it right away. My son texted me and told me Charlie Kirk got shot and he's probably going to die. He texted me that at about 12:23 immediately.
Right. But my point is if I'm personally there in person and I film this with my phone, which who really just sits there and live streams?
A lot of people do. That's
Not really.
That's really not.
People
that's-
film with their phone to capture the memory and save it for themselves.
It's
by
actually
and
not
large.
abnormal. No, it's not. People live stream constantly. They do.
So out of 10 people that are filming, you believe that a majority of them are live streaming?
They're all trying to get famous.
I literally have never, ever live streamed with my phone. Ever.
I have not either, but
So there's 2 out of 2 right there that
but
don't.
I do know people that have.
I've filmed at events. I've went to
Yes.
Trump events. I've been at many
You're a
events
millennial.
where I'm like, oh, I'm going to film this. Yet I've never in my life live streamed.
So when Charlie Kirk's funeral was here, his memorial, I wanted to go and live stream. And I said I was going to go and I was going to live stream. If I didn't have such bad social anxiety, I would have went and live streamed. I would have. I know I would have.
Still, the fact remains that you have never done it.
No, but I had full intention of doing it. Charlie Kirk is a celebrity. People love him and they hate
I feel
him.
like I won this debate that the
You didn't.
majority of people do not live stream.
You're just disconnected. There's a lot of children, teenagers. There's a lot of moms that live stream. They do. It's constant. That's why you can go on to TikTok and there's lives all over the place, just outside.
Okay, I mean maybe that's true.
Yeah. So let's go into the another weird.
But I never really got my point across with the live stream. So my point with that is, okay, even if there was somebody live streaming,
Yes.
let's say somebody was live streaming, how does that live stream end up on news outlets everywhere unless they knew the person, right? Because you can't just, even a news outlet doesn't know the person and their account that they're live streaming from.
No.
Unless the live stream is titled Charlie Kirk's event at this place, which do people title
Check
them
in.
before they go live?
Do people check in? Yes, they do. They check into their location.
So when people are like, oh, I'm going to live stream this for my TikTok or
and
whatever.
check in at UVU. They do that. That is a thing. So if you hear that Charlie Kirk was just shot in the neck, all you have to do is UVU. And you got
and it'll pop up anybody that's live streaming on the ground right there.
anybody that's at UVU that have live streamed, you can look it up on Twitter. Yeah. That's how I saw the video. I couldn't find the exact video because I think it was starting to get suppressed. But when my son came home, he showed me the video.
Well, my belief is that whoever filmed it, the footage that was spread to everybody, because you
That
said
was
that
like
there
4K, huh?
whoever actually filmed it, it was set up. The
Yeah.
person knew beforehand that this was
Well,
going to
yeah,
happen.
because it didn't even move down after he was
They
shot.
filmed it. It went out to everybody. And for all we know,
Well, wait a
the blood that we seen on that footage could have been an altered image, is
Okay.
what I'm saying. Because when you look at footage from behind Charlie Kirk, that blood doesn't exist. Yet on the footage that everybody was shown, there is a river of blood coming out of him.
Yes. So when he was shot, that blood that it didn't get on him until he fell over. He fell right into it.
I just recently rewatched the footage that we were all exposed to when it first happened, and the amount of blood that comes out, it literally looks like somebody turned a garden hose on and it was blood, not
That's an
water.
artery. Yes.
And so when you watch the footage from behind, it's just, there's a disconnect there. You're going to see that in some way from the actual footage from behind. You would see that blood.
I think that the video from behind was censored by Candace Owens so she could show it. She said there was no blood. There was no blood. But there is a black, if you pull up that video, there is a black just square.
That is completely wrong. And
Pull
the
it
way
up.
I know that,
Pull it up right now.
you can see a dot, a couple dots
Pull it up.
of blood.
Yes, pull it up. I want to show you it. Now go ahead and make it big. See that black square right there? Do you see that black square?
I do not. Oh, this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go. It's on top of the video. It's on top of the video. It's on top of the video for a reason, so that she could share it.
Indeed.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the another weird fact of all of this. And I want to go into what happened in the organization just a week prior to Charlie Kirk's death.
Okay.
So Charlie Kirk started an internal audit, what he called Doge, to find $10 million that had gone missing. So he dies and the audit dies with him. Suddenly, billions of dollars in offshore money from French and Israeli sources start flowing into the group. And the new app that they're using to track voters, it wasn't built here. It was built by a tech firm in Kyiv, Ukraine. So we're handing over all of our domestic data to developers in a foreign war zone. Think about that.
For the elections?
Yes.
This is for the machines that are used?
This is a new app and they're using it to track voters. So this app wasn't built here. It was built in Kyiv. And it's from Israeli and French sources.
Yeah, I mean, you are literally a sheep at this point if you take part in the elections.
Chris, we're not doing the elections. We're talking about this. Don't get off topic.
I'm completely on topic because the elections are nothing but a probe to identify how many sheep are left in the country. And what would really make them shit their pants if 50% of the voters decided, I'm not taking part in this fraud anymore.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. But let's not get off topic because he had a Doge style audit scheduled because there was $10 million missing. So after he gets murdered, they stopped that Doge style audit.
Yeah, the Doge effort, right? Remember Candace Owens was talking about Doge style audit, and then they sent a cease and desist to her that she was mischaracterizing it because it was Doge effort. I mean, the pettiness of Erika Kirk and TPUSA is...
They have to get what they can because they're liars. So billions of dollars after he dies is going to offshore accounts from French and Israeli sources. And they're flowing into the group, into TPUSA. So
these people are insane. People like Andrew Colvett.
Yes.
Like Erika Kirk, Blake Neff, all these people, Brian Harpole. My goodness, Brian Harpole trying to launch some sort of
I don't know. It almost feels like a setup. Like he's going to give Discovery. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
So Harpo is filing a lawsuit against Candace Owens, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's like, and these people, every time I see them, it's so cringe. Honestly, you should watch them. Just watch everything they say.
Yep.
And just expose them word by word, because everything they say is a complete lie.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep. And let's go into my final, like, I mean, there's a lot more than just this, but this is like another big deal. So look at the timing of his death. In June 2025, Charlie Kirk successfully talked the White House out of invading Iran. He was the main voice in stopping the war. He's gone in September. By February, Operation Epic Fury begins. We're dropping bombs on schools, killing hundreds of kids because AI algorithm made a mistake. Joe Kent, the head of counterterrorism, quit in protest because he said the war was a choice, not a necessity. The people who wanted this war couldn't have it while Charlie was standing. He was in the way. So what they did was they moved him. And you don't even have to take my word for it. Look it up. Look at the flight logs. Look at the ATF filings. Look at the trial in Paris right now. And that's for the Freemasonic assassins. Just a little bit. If you don't even know what that is, there's a huge trial going on with 22 assassins, are alleged assassins, tied to the Masonic Lodge. They're charged with running hit squads. But, you know, when Candace Owens says that there was an assassin attempting to take her life, it was a joking matter.
Yeah. Everything that Candace Owens has said up to this point, according to them,
is loony.
Is all a lie. There's not a single shred of evidence. It's insane.
Yep.
You know, it's funny because they only keep saying this stuff and keep perpetrating this lie for the people that they know they still have.
Oh, yeah.
And the bottom line is there's a lot of people that are not looking into this either way.
Oh, they're just taking somebody's side for it? Or what?
They're not really taking any side. They just maybe hear some stuff and they're not interested.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter to them. And those people, which is a lot of people, because let's face it, people are just doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. They're stuck in their own world, and these are the sheep, which is like 95% of the population.
I don't think so. I think that we're kind of split. There's a civil war going on within the Republican Party, right?
I don't know.
They talk about it all the time.
We would have to expect that they've completely lost a grip on the narrative, and I don't think so. I think that there has been an increase in
the awareness,
the awakened people.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot. You know, a lot of times you look at it and you're like, okay, so, and I'm sure most people have heard this. 95% of the population is asleep.
Yeah.
4% are awake, and 1% run the world.
Yeah.
Right. 1% of the people are running the world.
Yep.
4% of the people are awake to that fact, and 95% of the people are asleep, completely asleep.
Well, yeah, they give us this little tiny story, and it's like cut and dry, and they are banking on you not looking into the complicated facts. But everybody, I feel like a lot of people are paying attention. I do.
So even if there's been a mass awakening, I would say on the generous side, maybe 10 more percent. So then you have 15% awake. That to me seems generous just by talking to people in normal day-to-day engagements.
I think
feel
that
like
some people tend to stay away from any kind of discomfort into their space. So they might not speak to you about it, but it doesn't mean that they don't know about it.
Right. That reminds me, I had to share it because, you know, it just brings to mind something that Tucker Carlson is talking about lately. And so I had a quick little video I was going to share, and it's so true.
Yeah.
But this would also kind of hinge on what me and Brooke were just talking about, how many people are actually awake and how many people are actually still asleep.
Yeah.
But he is so accurate with this statement right here. I have to share it with you. Let's take a listen.
But
again, it's how many years later and nobody cares.
Nobody cares. So it's not, and I'm sorry to make it about me. I didn't mean to do that.
No.
It's just I'm mad about that topic. But the point is,
It's your show, brother.
no. No, but it's about the Congress. And I think you need a legislative body, not against the Congress in theory. What I'm worried about, here's the point that I'm attempting to make in a long-winded way, which is if you don't pay any attention at all to how people feel about you when your job is to represent those people, that system can't continue. And you're going to get a January 6th, but for real at some point, if you keep acting this way.
It will be an armed situation.
Like actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will applaud it.
He's right.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like the fuck around, find out.
and I'll just be honest with you, Tucker Carlson has actually been introducing little tiny statements like this lately. He's been saying that people should stop paying their credit card debts and let the banks
Figure it out.
collapse. Well, that's what would happen to the banks if everybody just refused to pay credit card debt, because that's a huge part of the country's
really
debt
is.
is credit card debt.
Yes.
And so he's been saying that. He's said it multiple times. He's also said that on multiple different topics that are grounds to overthrow the government.
Mm-hmm.
He's mentioned that multiple times. One of them was the fact that they're keeping extraterrestrial information and documents that the government has on.
Yeah. Why do they get to pick and choose what we see?
Well, this episode that he just had with Bouchette
is what you said. Yes.
He's a representative in Congress who has been questioning Congress and trying to figure out what they're hiding from the American people in
they're hiding
regards to
everything.
aliens and alien crafts and whatnot, technology or whatever that the government has.
Yes.
And Bouchette, he said that he believes it's not necessarily the government that's keeping it, but it's investors, right, that have been handed over this technology, and so they're paying off government people to keep from releasing it because of the technology that they have from it.
Okay, so my question would be, and this is for another episode, probably tomorrow or something. Who's the investors, and what stakes do they have in it, and would they be willing to kill for it?
Yeah, there's a few other really good moments in this interview that maybe we'll kind of skim over it and find those, and then we'll queue them up for another discussion tomorrow, because it's highly interesting.
Well, this goes into those scientists that are missing. Not all of them, but a lot of them are in that web, especially the general. Yep. Absolutely. And it's all connected. Not all of the deaths that they're trying to connect are connected, but at least 6 of them. They are connected to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Gainesville, Alabama.
Yep. And then you have Joe Rogan also starting to touch on these topics. You know, he's recognizing live on his shows, or I don't know. I don't think he does live actually, but he's putting out on his shows where he's discussing, he's like making fun of Erika Kirk.
I know, I
she's
see
weird.
that. She is weird. And if you don't see that, then you're weird too.
Yes, he's calling it for what it is.
Yes.
And he's not tiptoeing around the topic anymore.
I don't think anyone should.
No. And that's what we need to, is these other, because it's like what the F is going on with these massive influencers
and
to
normal
let
people.
Candace Owens carry the load of all of this
And call her demonic and evil.
She needs these people to back her up. Because here's the thing: if she's the only one, at some point,
It's got to end.
if she gets close enough, I fear that our government will just remove her.
Well,
in
yeah.
fact, her most recent hiatus, I started getting worried towards the end, and I felt like they took her out. You had Laura Loomer talking about the SPLC's going after her. And
Laura Loomer has been anything but honest.
I'm just saying, these things lined up, and then Candace Owens goes radio silent. The couple of messages that she did put out just didn't feel like it was her. In hindsight, she explained that her priest that was confirming her as a Catholic.
Yep, which she already had scheduled.
Yeah, but
Now I remember.
the priest. Yeah, well, nobody remembered. She did it at the Catholic for Catholics.
No, it's been scheduled for a year.
Yeah, no, a couple months in advance, she did a speech at Catholics for Catholics, and she mentioned that, hey, next month, no, exactly 1 month earlier, she said, next month, I'm going to Rome.
You can only be confirmed.
And then, so
Yes.
she had mentioned it, but she didn't
Reiterate exactly what was going to happen.
She didn't announce it leading up to leaving,
Yes.
right? I don't know if that was intentional or
No,
what the
but
case
you just
was.
popped that in my head because I remember in like August, no, September.
And then you also have because like I was gonna say, Laura Loomer was saying that Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens both had ran from the SPLC to Rome, and then you have Nick Fuentes
Ian
saying
Carroll.
some nice things about Candace lately, which is not like him.
He says a little bit of nice stuff.
But he says it in a funny way.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that's my girl,"
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "Oh," But the most recent thing that he said about her was how she's bringing down the Daily Wire, and if she's doing that, then we got her back. So it's cool. I think it's cool. I think that they should set their differences aside because we're all on the same side here. And the same thing with these big influencers. The reason they don't join in is
Money.
out of fear of of losing what they have, right? Because of this entity that seems to
Of course.
attack and successfully remove people from the public realm whenever they decide to step over that line.
Who owns Salem Media?
Our greatest ally. It's our greatest ally. It's
Okay.
like everything else, Hollywood, the pharmaceutical industry, everything. Probably the election machines, probably everything.
Yeah.
Our greatest ally has a hand in everything that we have an issue with nowadays. So if there's something that you're questioning or you have an issue with, I guarantee there's a tie to our greatest ally.
Oh, of course.
And so our greatest ally is not doing us any kind of great favors.
No, they only do for themselves. They're expansionists and they're killing anybody left in Gaza, and they are stopping humanitarian aid, which is another point of genocide.
Yeah. We didn't even get to touch on the war. The fact that the United States claims that they're escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz, and there's reports of Iranian military that Trump says is completely decimated, launching attacks on these ships and actually hitting them, or them being... These have been some mainstream actual reports. I don't even know why we cite them at all anymore.
I wouldn't cite them at all.
Well, no, I mean, everybody is tying credibility to mainstream on certain war topics, but they were supposedly warning shots, but then there's reporting coming out of Iran that the ballistic missiles actually hit some of these American warships. I guess in time we'll probably get some more information on that. But Iran is not decimated.
No.
Iran is sitting back, strategic. They have for decades already been under economic sanctions, and they have developed their ability to withstand these type of rationing situations that they're being put into.
Yep.
So they're not accepting the
Defeat?
proposal from Trump.
No, and
Trump,
I don't even think
it's
their
funny
people
because
are.
Trump starts out all strong. Oh, okay. You need to or Iran's begging right now. Their military's decimated. They have no navy, this and that. And then all of a sudden you have Trump saying, yeah, we'll accept this as a framework to work off of. Okay. So anyway, we'll probably get into that tomorrow. And I also want to touch on these big influencers that are starting to talk about things the rest of us have been talking about for a while.
So until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, have a good night.
Where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.